Nicole Lamartine. Welcome to the Choral Eye. Today we are talking about choral auditions and placements. We join a choir because we like the fellowship of singing with other people. We love to discover music together. We love the way the voices sound around us, and we like to develop our voices. But oftentimes joining a choir means going through the hoop of this sometimes scary process of the audition. Today, I want to give you skills so that you can go into an audition or placement and feel really confident about what you are bringing to be evaluated so that you can have the best choral experience possible. I use two types of evaluations for singers in my choirs. The first is a simple choral placement hearing in which the singer will sing in groups together, and I'm listening only for vocal range and quality so that I can place that singer in a section of the choir. The second type is a more formal audition in which I'm evaluating the vocal and musical skills to place that singer in the best choir possible for their level of ability and their future challenges. In either case, I'm looking for a winning combination of vocal talent, musical skill, and attitude. Now, everyone comes to a choral experience with differing levels of each of these three areas. It's my job to help you develop your vocal and musical skills. So no matter what level you are coming to choir in, I hope that you will always come with the best attitude possible. So let's talk about the first type of evaluation. It's a simple placement hearing. I like to hear my singers in groups or in duets so that no singer feels like they have to sing alone. That sometimes is scary for people. So in a voice placement hearing, I am listening for your range comfort, your registration shifts, and your timbre. We'll do this together in vocalization, singing scales or arpeggios, simple melodies together so that I can hear where I need to help you in your vocal development. Goals for you, for your choral placement hearing, is to come with a full voice, never feeling shy about your voice. Bring me what you have at that moment so that I know best how to help you. Bring a sense of honesty about your previous experience and where your skills might need more development. And then, of course, breathe. This can be a nerve-wracking process for some of us, but the more we can find a sense of grounding through the breath, the more successful you'll be in that placement hearing. And the cool thing about a placement hearing is that you're already in the choir. We're just placing you in the section in which you will sing. So this is the beginning of your journey in the choral areas. So, auditions. This sometimes is scary for people. The audition is simply a more extensive evaluation of your vocal skill, your musical skill, and your attitude. And we do this in 4 steps. The first is by singing a solo piece of your choice, a cappella. The second is for me to hear vocalizations, to hear your range and where your passaggio or registration shifts lie, and the timbre or the color of your voice. And then I'll evaluate musical skills by hearing you rhythmic sight read and melodic sight read. So in order for me to evaluate your vocal skill, I'll hear the solo and vocalizations. I'm listening for your singing in your solo of an appropriate selection, maybe a classical piece, something you brought to solo and ensemble festival, maybe a legit musical theater piece from the golden era of musical theater, a folk song, a hymn tune, maybe a part from a choral piece that you have sung in the past. Bring what you sing best at that moment. I'm listening for if you sing in tune. And that means not only each individual note, but do you stay in your key as you're singing through your piece? I'm also listening for your beautiful, lovely vocal tone. And if you're musical, can you shape a phrase with intention? Do you bring emotion and expressivity to your singing? When we vocalize together, I'm listening for the tone of your voice. If the tone is consistent from high to low, I'm listening to how high you can sing, how low you can sing, but where your voice sounds most comfortable. I'm also listening to where you have register shifts or passaggi, where you switch into your head voice from your chest voice, for example. And then, of course, I'm listening to your beautiful tone and the timbre or color of your singing. In evaluating your musical skill, we'll do this in two ways: rhythmic sight reading and melodic sight reading. When I listen to your rhythmic sight reading, I'm watching to see if you have an understanding of pulse and duration. If you understand that the pulse is in your body and that the rhythmic value or duration comes from your speaking or your speech. And I'm also interested to know what system of rhythmic reading you use, whether it's numbers, dude, or takadimi or kodai system. In the melodic sight reading, this is really where I get to see your problem-solving skills. How do you tackle the problem of sight reading? When you see an intervallic jump, how are you going to figure that out? How do you relate the notes to what has come before or after it? I'm also listening to see what system of pitch you use to sight read, whether it's solfege, numbers, or a neutral syllable. And of course, I'm looking to see if you have an ability to retain the tonic, to retain the sense of pitch center as you are singing through and problem solving through the melodic exercise. And of course, I'm evaluating your attitude. My philosophy is that we come together in choir, and if each of us brings a positive contribution to the whole, our music making will be that much more rich and valuable and meaningful. So I ask that you bring a sense of responsibility. We all make mistakes, and if we take responsibility for those, then we move forward faster. I'm also looking for a sense of mentorship and leadership, knowing when we need to step back and be a follower, or when we need to take that step forward and be a leader. How do we interact with people in our ensemble? Are we able to step back and take in the information when we need, or are we able to step forward and help those around us when they need help? So goals in a vocal choral audition: bring your full voice. A lot of choral singers think that they need to bring a different sound to a choral audition than their solo singing. Bring your solo voice. I want to hear everything that you're made of. Bring your utmost musicality, your emotional content, your intention in your singing. Bring a sense of honesty, again, of your musical skills, where you are in your vocal and musical development, so that I know how to help you. And of course, breathe. This is a nerve-wracking process for a lot of people, and the more we ground to the breath in a sense of calm, the more successful you will be. And of course, tonicize, please, before your melodic sight reading. Tonicize being singing the tonic triad with your solfege hand signs. Do, mi, do, so, do. And then, of course, don't be afraid to problem solve. I do not expect that you are perfect in all of your musical skills. You come to college and sing in a choir so that you will develop those skills. I don't expect perfection from the beginning. I want to see how you tackle a challenge so that I know best how to help you in the future. I want you to succeed. We want you to succeed. So let's hear an example or two of a choral audition. Hi,
Hello.
what's your name?
My name is Nick Hoskins.
Okay, and what part do you normally sing in choir?
I usually sing tenor two, but I've sing tenor one before in the past.
Okay, great. And why do you want to sing in a choir?
I want to sing in a choir because I love to sing. I'm mainly an instrumentalist. I have an instrumentalist background, but just because I'm an instrumentalist doesn't mean I can't sing. And I love to sing. I love to be able to make music with my voice and share the with my voice.
Oh, that's great. What instrument do you play?
I mainly play the trombone.
Okay. And how are your keyboard skills?
My keyboard skills are like around the beginner level.
Okay, good. But you can figure out notes on the piano. You know where middle C is.
Mhm.
Okay, excellent. Well, I'm so glad you're auditioning today. Nick, what would you like to sing for me?
So I will be singing the tenor line from "Let My Love Be Heard" by Jake Runestad.
All right.
So,
Do you need a pitch?
no, I should be good.
Okay.
So, angels, where you soar up to God's own light, let my long lost bird on your hearts tonight. And as grief once more mounts to heaven and sea, let my love be heard. And that's mainly it.
Nick, that's great. It's so good to hear you sing. I love that you're letting your vibrato just come through so beautifully. And what a beautiful tenor voice you have.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I'd like to hear a little bit more through your range and register. So let's do some vocalizations.
All right.
Okay, this first vocalization, I want to hear you go up and through your passaggio, the passageway, your break, right? And so we'll do this exercise. On yo, yo. Try that.
Yo.
Good. And up the octave,
Yo.
up a half step.
Yo.
One more.
Yo.
Beautiful. And you could go on for days. Love it. Great. And now I'd like to hear your middle register. Wee, 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 woo. And down a half step. Good. Now that's getting into your lower register. One more. Great. Same pitch. Yo, 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 yo.
Yo, 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 yo.
And down half.
Yo, 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 yo.
One more.
Yo, 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 yo.
Good job, Nick. You ready to sight read?
Let's give it a shot.
All right. I like that attitude. I'm going to share my screen with you. Is there anything about sight reading that scares you?
Just some weird jumps, and I'm not used to like it's I've seen some weird jumps with intervals, so
So
um,
what's your process when you see a wide jump with an interval?
my process is to relate it back to the Major Triad, just relating it back to there and building from there.
Excellent. That's a great process. We're going to start with rhythm. And
Okay.
so you know that the pulse is always going to be felt in the body and the rhythm will be spoken or sung in your voice. So I would like for you to try, um, let's do number one.
Okay. So,
So at your own tempo, find your own pulse and speak it on a counting system that you know.
okay. 1, 2 and 1, 2 E and a 1, 1 and 1 E and a 1 and 1.
Good job. And just for kicks, let's try number two.
All right. 1 and 1, 1 and 1, 1 and 2 and 1.
Good job. Excellent. So when you're sight reading with rhythm, Nick, just always feel free to take it at a pace that is comfortable for you. And as an instrumentalist, these rhythms don't scare you at all. And I like that. Okay, here's a melodic sight reading example.
Okay.
We are in treble clef, which is the clef that you would normally sing in as a tenor.
Okay.
What key are we in? Can you identify that?
It looks like we're in the key of G.
Good job. And if we're in the key of G, what note do we start on solfege in?
On Do.
Great. And so here is G major. Do, mi, so, mi, do. Would you tonicize, please?
Mm, Do, mi, so, mi, do.
Good. Try it up the octave.
Do, mi, so, mi, do, so, do.
Good for you. And notice that your first note is do. Your
Mhm.
first note in this phrase is do. You end on do, and you end on do, and you end on do, and end on do. So looking across at your tonic triad, you can identify do, mi on the third line, and then so will be on that fourth line. Take
Mhm.
a moment now, I'll walk you through this to compare the two bar phrases. This first phrase is very, very similar to this first phrase. It's the second measure that's different. These two bars, or the beginnings of these two phrases, are almost exactly the same with the exception of these notes in the middle, both
Mhm.
of which are stepwise motion but different starting points. These two phrases are exactly the same. So this rhythm here that you'll see in the second and third lines are exactly the same, but it's slightly different here. Is this so going to be on the beat or off the beat?
That is going to be on the beat.
Good job. Okay, do you remember what do sounds like?
Do,
Good job. Excellent. At your own tempo, go for it.
do, so, re, so, fa, mi, re, mi, do, ti, la, ti, so, so, la, so, fa, mi, do, ti, la, ti, so, do.
Nicely done, Nick. You are very capable, and I really enjoy that you're using your solfege hand signs. I would like for you to try another one just because you are so advanced here. Let's try this top one. What key are we in?
Let me see. It looks like we're in the key of A flat major.
Absolutely. Do, mi, so, mi, do. In that octave, tonicize.
Do, mi, so, mi, do, so, do.
Good. And what's your first note that you start on in solfege? Good
So,
job. And what's your second note? Good
do,
job. Then we have an arpeggio here. Can you identify those on solfege?
re, ti, so.
Good job. And a big skip.
Oh, interesting. So, fa,
That's exactly right. Sing it again.
so, fa,
Good job. I bet you can do this on site. Take it a little slower because you've got this quick run here at the end. Sing your first so. Good
so,
job. Your own tempo. Go.
so, do. Oh no.
Try it again.
So, fa, mi, re, do.
There you go. Good.
So, do, re. Oh my goodness. Let me try this again one more time.
There you go. Think of that eighth note pulse as driving you along, maybe not the quarter.
Gotcha. So, do, re, ti, so, fa, mi, do, re, ti, so, fa, mi, do, re, do, ti, la, so, fa, mi, re. Oh no.
Do. Good job, Nick.
Thank you.
I like the way that you figured out your intervals.
Mhm.
And in your next step, your next challenge would be to keep that eighth note pulse nice and steady. So, do, re, ti, so, fa, mi. And you can pulse with your hands for each of those eighth notes. Nick, it's a pleasure to hear you. Thank you so much for auditioning today.
Thank you for allowing me to audition. I love it.
Absolutely. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Law.
Hi, my name is Maddie.
Nice to meet you. Tell me a little bit about your choral journey.
Well, I've been singing basically all my life. I sang in a lot of children's choirs, and then I'd say I really got plugged in back again in college, and I've sung in a couple choirs in there.
Excellent. I'm so glad you're here. What do you hope to bring to your choral experience? What are your strengths?
I think my strengths are definitely authenticity with how I sing and how I emote, especially. And I also think that I'm a pretty strong musician. Like I have pretty independent musicianship skills, so I think that's a pretty good thing to bring to the table as well.
That's awesome. I can't wait to work with you. What would you like to sing today?
I would like to sing Noche Serena,
Okay, and what pitch would you like?
a C, please.
Ooh.
Noche serena de primavera, blanca paloma del alba luz. Noche serena de primavera, blanca azucena, esa eres tú. Y al haber yo llegado aquí, todo ese oro embeleso, recibe ese tierno beso que te mando para ti. Florina Roma, marchitada, campo invierno, negro tourbillon, flor marchitada, sin aroma, árbol tronchado, eso soy yo.
Beautiful, Maddie. I
Thank
love it.
you.
Your vibrato is so beautiful, and I love the legato with which you sing. It's really, really nice. Okay, I'd like to hear your range and some vocalizations. So we are going to start here in the key of C. Yo, and I'll give you a new pitch for each repetition.
Yo.
Can you hear that?
Yo. Yo. Yo.
Wonderful. You've got a nice easy sound up there in the top of your range. Really lovely. Now let's hear the middle of your voice. Wee, 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 woo.
Wee, 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 wee,
And down a
woo.
half.
Wee, 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 woo.
Good. Down one more.
Wee, 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 woo.
Good for you. Have you sung alto in choir?
I generally do sing alto in choir.
Let's hear it. So let's do yo, 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 yo. Nice easy mix at the bottom, not full chest.
Yo, 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 yo.
Good. Down half.
Yo, 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 yo.
And one more.
Yo, 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 yo.
Beautiful. Wonderful big range. You could sing any part in the choir. That's great. Okay, you ready for some sight reading?
Absolutely.
Okay, let me share my screen with you. Is there anything about sight reading that you feel you are really, really confident on?
I'm pretty good at hearing where pitches are. If I know if I know where they are in the do re mi, like in the solfege scale, I'm pretty good at hearing that ahead
Excellent.
of time.
Good for you. So let's start actually with some rhythmic reading. So we're going to look here first at number one. And when you are rhythmic reading, keep the pulse somewhere on your body. And the pulse could be the quarter note or the eighth note pulse in this exercise. And then speak the rhythm in a rhythmic system that you know. It could be your kodai syllables, takadimi, whatever's comfortable for you. And I'll let you take a moment to look at it and then go at your own tempo.
Okay. Ta ti ti ta tika tika ta tika ta tika 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 ta ta.
Very well done. Good. And I appreciate that you're feeling the pulse as well as sensing it in your body. Let's try number two, just on sight.
Tika ta ta tika ta ta tika ta 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 ta.
Good job. That's great. Good, Maddie. Okay. Here is a melodic example. Do you notice anything about this example that looks strange to you?
I think it's an alto clef
Yeah,
at the
great.
beginning there, isn't it?
Yeah. So as singers, it doesn't really matter what clef we're reading in. It just matters where we find do. So you've got one flat. So what key does that tell you we're in?
Probably F major.
Probably F major. Absolutely. Because in this case, we have a flat on fa, and we'll follow that up to so. So this is so, third line mi, and second line do. Great. So let's follow this down. We've got stepwise motion. Ooh, and then we've got a big skip. We've already identified that this first note is what, Maddie?
So,
Good job. So what's right above so?
la.
Excellent. Good deal. And then coming right down the scale again, ooh, we've got a skip here.
Re, so.
Excellent. Good job. And then this one you've already identified here.
At, do, la.
Excellent. And right down the scale. So if we are in F major sounds like this. Do, mi, do, so, do. Would you tonicize, please?
Do, mi, so, mi, do, so, do.
Good. And your first note on solfege is?
So.
Good for you. Keep that eighth note pulse at your own tempo. Go.
So, fa, mi, re, do, do, la. So, fa, mi, re, so, fa, mi, re, do, do, la. So, fa, mi, re, do.
Good job, Maddie. So what was most helpful as we were talking through that exercise?
I think identifying the skips helped me be less afraid when they came up and I was doing them. Like, oh, what is
Excellent.
that?
Good. And I could hear your brain thinking in that first do to la, but I think that you were thinking do to so, and then you went up and you found it that way. Excellent. Let's do another one just for kicks because it's fun. Okay, now you're
Okay.
going to sing in bass clef, which is a clef that you, as an alto in choir, would probably not see, right? And
Mm-mm.
so we just know that the last flat to the right is fa. And
Mm-hmm.
so what key does this look like in, or what note do you start on solfege? That's a better way to put it.
We start on do,
Excellent. Yep. And can you name
and
the key?
that's a B flat,
You
which will
got
probably
it.
be flat major.
Absolutely. Good job. Do, mi, do, so, do. Your turn.
Do, mi, so, mi, do, so,
Good.
do.
And what's your first note? Good. And your second
Do,
one? Excellent.
mi.
And this is all stepwise motion until we get so here, but that's an easy one. It's the first note. What is it?
Do.
Good job. Excellent. right down the scale. And then we got some skips in here on the spaces. So can you identify what this note is?
Re.
Good.
Fa.
Excellent. Yeah.
La.
Yes. Good job. And back to your starting pitch.
Do.
Excellent. I'd suggest keeping the eighth note pulse at your own tempo when you're ready.
Do, mi, fa, mi, re, do, mi, so, do, ti, la, so, mi, so, la, fa, re, fa, sol, do, fa, re, do.
Excellent work, Maddie. I love how you went back and you realized that these were quarters instead of eighth notes. Really good. And your pitch is so wonderful. I am so glad that we had this chance to meet today. Thanks so much.
Me too. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I hope this video has given you some skills for success, and I look forward to hearing your choral placement or audition in the very near future.